A young man who left Nigeria at the age of 7 years has returned after 20 years. He does not know the whereabouts of his mother. The story is gripping and heart-rending. It is indeed unmissable. Stick around for the full dose on your favorite show, The Diaspora. That's not all on the menu. We also have our complimentary segments of health tips by Association of Nigerian Physicians in the Americas and PAR, our food corner, and our diaspora of the moment. This is your favorite show, The Diaspora. I'm Juliana Vincent Yakubu, your anchor. Please stay. Welcome back. Let's begin with the story of Isosa, as he is called. Isosa, who is advocating regular and safer pathways for migration and exposing the dangers of human trafficking and exploitation globally, was received by Honorable Abike Dabiri in her office with a team. Half and Half Films, a UK-based company specializing in factual and documentary content.
Briefly, tell us your story.
Originally, I was born in Benin, Edo State. I went to the UK at the age of 7 because my father asked my stepmom to bring me over, and I was placed into a family which at the time the nephew was actively involved in gang culture. But by the age, I'll say by the age of 10, 11, I was actively involved in selling drugs. And by the age of 11, I was given my first ever firearm to learn how to strip, put together, and then obviously to be able to transport news. Then by the age of 12, I was stabbed, where I was resuscitated back to life. And by the age of 13, I was in prison for possession of a shotgun without a certificate. Went through the prisons.
Years?
I was dealing with the criminal justice system, I'll say, for the next 3 years, from the age of 13 to 16.
Tell us, what do you see in the future for yourself?
There's a fact where for me, I feel like I need to create more and be able to create a lot more for the next generation. I've trained judges, I've trained everyone you can think of.
Where was this community?
Originally, I grew up in Southeast London, but now I'll probably say I've trained the whole of UK.
Okay, why did they trust you? Why would this guy who's been out of prison, this young guy, and says he's training people, how did you overcome that?
I would say that I was introduced to an organization which was obviously training survivors to use their voice, and it was called Train the Trainer, and the organization was called the Human Trafficking Foundation. And they introduced me to the sector. And after they introduced me to the sector, it was a thing where I believed that I could make a change in the sector. And since then, I've been doing that. I've been doing that to the point where, like I said, I was invited to the United Nations, even to the point where I'm studying criminology and sociology, my second year studying criminology and sociology at university. I was kicked out in secondary school because I was told that, one, I was heavily involved in gangs, and that means I didn't deserve education apparently, and two, because I was going to endanger the other kids in the school, so they kicked me out. But now I'm able to study. I'm probably one of the highest grades in my university class right at this moment in time. I'm in my second year. I have to go into my last year next year and get a degree in criminology and sociology, even to the point where my university trusts me enough to put me in a scholarship all the way to my PhD.
Wow, what a story. You talked about your mom. What happened to her?
My mom, I came back to basically, especially not being away for 20 years, I came back because I feel like my vulnerability in the UK was because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to feel like I have a family. Like you said, in Nigeria, you might not have a mum, but you have a grandma, you have an auntie, you have other people who plays that mother role. I have consistent. But for me, I never had that. And it left a big hole in my chest.
Did she die?
I don't know.
You don't know?
For my mom made that trip when I was 2, and to this day no one can tell me. She made a trip illegally to travel into Europe. And she went Libya.
Through Libya. So one of those Libya stories.
Yeah.
And then you never found her again.
No one knows what happened
to her. So you don't know where she is now.
No.
Whether she's alive or dead.
And for me, it's something very important to me. I know what happened to my father. And that's a closed chapter. I can be happy. It's not happy, but I know my father passed away, and I can learn to grieve about that. I've never really learned how to grieve. Like I learned to grieve about that. But my mum, I can't end that chapter because I don't know what happened.
And that's very deep because you are now in a position to even help combat trafficking, which she was a victim of. But here you are today, Isosa, our man, our change maker. Your story is inspirational. I wish you all the very best, and I know that you're just beginning. So tell me your experience coming to Nigeria for the first time in 20 years.
I would say, me personally, not growing up with a family, I love my family. I love and
you're able to identify some of your father's family, mother's family.
I would say mainly my mom.
So
mainly my mom. I know my dad's side.
Aunties in Nigeria.
And uncles.
Okay, and uncles from your mother's side.
Yeah,
and they've received you very warmly.
Perfect.
And here's another auntie. Two things. Government has a role to play. Make it possible for young people to get jobs by making the environment possible. If you're manufacturing, if we're having people, small businesses, you can create jobs. But that is what this president is doing. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is focusing a lot of youth employment, job creation, and all that. But I'll tell you something. There are still many people who, despite that, will say, I have to go abroad. Some said to me, my destiny is abroad. And they get there, you find that it's not as rosy as it is being painted. There's nothing wrong going abroad. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but you want to go abroad to be a better person, not to be exploited. Not to be exploited. So a lot of people go and what they expect is not what they get. So our own role is, number one, to tell the stories, to try and let them know, look, it may go this way or not that way, and then to hear from people like you, share your experiences, and always know that home will always be home. And even if you go, what we also encourage is, you've gone, you've seen, you've succeeded, don't forget home. No matter how far a river flows, it cannot cut away from its source. That source is here. So one of the things we do is encourage Nigerians who have been there to see what you can do back home. Investing, capacity building, raising younger people, impacting their lives. We try to do that too. But the most important thing is, where are you going to? Is it really better than where you're running away from? In some cases, yes. In some cases, no. But you can't stop migration, regular or irregular. But you can reduce irregular migration, ensure that with regular migration, get the best of whatever it is you're going to. Not to go there and get exploited. That is part of what we do.
Let's take a short break. The Diaspora continues shortly.
My name is Olubenga Messi. I was once an illegal migrant in Libya. Thanks to Honorable Mrs. Abike Dabri, and thanks to Mr. Abraham for saving me, for rescuing me. I want to plead to Nigerians to say no to illegal migrations. Say no to anything illegal. Do not leave your country for anything. Just keep pushing and everything will be okay. There are some people that are out there that wasn't saved. Some people died. Some people didn't even make it to the country. Some people died in the desert. Some people made it to the country. They brought them back home mentally derailed. So we were treated like criminals. We were treated like animals. Some people, when they get to the country, without even working, prison straight. So please, I plead with every Nigerians, do not go to any country in the name of survivor. It is better to survive in Nigeria than to survive in another country. If you survive in Nigeria, you survive in any other country. Say no to illegal migration.
Everybody,
say no to illegal migration.
Honorable Abike Dabri, Chairman, CEO, NIDCOM, urges Prof. Adedeji Badiru to work with NIDCOM by giving back to Nigeria through digital technology.
I was heading training of PhDs for the Air Force. That was a big deal.
So how are you going to give back to your homeland with all that you have gathered? So how do your Nigeria?
Actually, I've been doing that by going through the processes for the past 30 years.
Okay.
Yeah. The Systems Engineering Department at the University of Lagos, I was the architect of starting that in the 90s. Actually, at Unilag now, they call me the father of systems engineering at the University of Lagos. So talk about giving back. Also, University of Ibadan have organized technical book donations from my colleagues, and we've done that. Talking about registering in your database, there are so many of Nigerians in diaspora that are doing well that I was the architect of how they got to the US where they are. So I've been giving back in that process for a long time.
I want to welcome you.
Thank you.
Prof, to NIDCOM.
Yeah.
And you represent the very best of Nigeria.
Well, thank you.
You represent those Nigerians. You've developed the American system with what you have done. And I'm glad you are retired now. So we need you here. We need you here to do a lot more things. And I'm also happy with what you've been doing. I saw you at UNILAG, you did the DICON lecture.
Yes.
So we hope to work with you too. Particularly the issue of data analytics.
Certainly.
And how we continue to engage Nigerians.
Yes.
Data is everything.
Yes.
So we are building our data portal gradually. So we hope to work with you, count on your expertise and knowledge and intelligence. I also want to appeal to you that as you've retired, mentor younger Nigerians.
Yes.
So when you're home, part of the things we want you to do is in the institutions, young people, you can work with you for a mentoring program with young Nigerians to inspire them to know that there's nothing you cannot achieve if you stay right on the ball.
Thank
You
you.
wrote all these books: innovation, system engineering, data analytics. Wow. Yes. And Prof, tell us, you've been in America for 45 years.
Yes.
Wow. And you retired as?
Dean of the Graduate School of Engineering and Management for the USA Air Force Institute of Technology.
Wow, that is huge. And now that we're going to be seeing you more often, what can we expect for you? What partnership? What are you going to be doing with us in Nigeria?
Whatever program you are doing at NIDCOM, I want to be a part of. Whatever.
Thank you so much.
I have a wide range of interests, skills, and expertise, and I want to be engaged in Nigeria.
Prof, give me 5. Prof will be engaged. Thank you so much. You're such a brain. I mean, one of the most brilliant men in the whole wide world. We're proud
Thank
of
you. Thank you.
Thank you so
You've
much.
done a marvelous job of harnessing the intellectual assets of Nigeria.
If you ask me the most valuable asset that Nigeria has, I would say it's people, both home and abroad. As a Nigerian who's lived in Canada for over 25 years, I'm being involved with building the largest Black-owned media organization in Canada with a 24-hour TV station, a few magazines, and also, producing films that have made global impact. My current film has won 16 awards in many countries in the world, was in theaters in Canada for 3 weeks, and in the US for a few weeks, as well as the Caribbean. One of the things that I actually accord all the success to is my roots, my Nigerian roots, the gifts that Nigeria gave me, the gift of resilience, that indomitable spirit. So I would say, Nigeria is not utilizing its diaspora enough. Our biggest contribution right now is remittances, but guess what? We have more to offer. The global experience, the knowledge, the fact that we're rooted in our Nigerian pride, the cultural dexterity, and the stakeholdership that Nigerians and diaspora have in Nigeria can be actually utilized, can be capitalized upon to bring about change and development in Nigeria. So I say the government needs to create a better atmosphere for Nigerians and diaspora to actually want to come home and make a difference, and we have a lot to offer. And I say to the government, use us, we're here, and we're eager to be part of the solution. We shouldn't be treated like visitors, we shouldn't be treated like strangers, because our hearts are back home, and that's where we actually want to bring all our knowledge and our resources to ensure that the country is one that we're all proud of.
Welcome back. Now to our health tip segment with Amper Doctor.
Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about something that was brought up by one of our constituents, and that is excessive soda consumption. Generally, as we're talking about wellness and preventative health, one of the things that can impact your health significantly is your intake. And one of the intakes of relevance include your soda consumption or soda and sugary fruit consumption. When we talk about soda, it's not just Fanta or Coke. We're talking about any carbonated liquid that has sugar. And this includes a lot of your caffeinated drinks. They could be on a lot of different labels. They're called different things. They have different brands. Now, in general, caffeinated drinks include a significant amount of sugar. And when we talk about soda, soda has what would be explained as about 9 teaspoons of sugar per serving. So what is an excessive amount of soda? You can't really say a particular volume is an excessive amount. However, it's recommended that one should take no more than 6 teaspoons of sugar in a day. So if one serving of caffeinated drink or soda has 9 teaspoons, you're already taking a lot of sugar within that serving. An excessive amount of soda, or taking more than 2 to 3 cans or servings of soda a day, could be associated with a lot of different things. One is the excessive amount of sugar input. Generally increases your total caloric intake. So that means the amount of calories you're taking is high, so you're more likely to gain weight, even if you're eating the same amount of food. You don't look at the soda as food, but it is increasing the total amount of energy intake, and over time will allow you to increase your weight and contribute towards obesity. The soda has a diuretic effect, so even though you're drinking it as fluid, it's causing you to remove water from your body as a diuretic. That means it's forcing fluids to be passed through your system. And in other words, even though you're drinking the fluid, you actually become relatively dehydrated because it's having you lose water. So that is not a good outcome. Excessive amount of soda is an excessive amount of sugar. It could be associated with, in the long term, people who are predisposed type 2 diabetes. That is not a good idea also. And a lot of these sodas have caffeine in it. So the thing about caffeine is when you take caffeine over time, you require more caffeine to maintain your normal stable mood. And so if you drop the amount of caffeine you're taking, you start becoming irritable with mood swings. It's kind of sort of an addictive effect. The caffeine also over time increases your heart rate, increases your blood pressure. You may notice that you have headaches with an excessive caffeine use. You may notice actually that it gives you a little bit of diuresis that we talked about. And so an excessive amount of caffeine that you get as a secondary effect from drinking the soda in itself can create a situation where you're caffeine dependent. And so you have to continue to maintain a certain amount of caffeine for you to feel your normal self. And that in itself is not necessarily a good idea to you, for your health in the long run. So in general, you want to limit the total amount of caffeine and sugary drinks that you drink, irrespective of what it's called, whether it's soda, whether it's caffeinated drinks, whether it's fruity drinks. You want to decrease the amount of sugar that you're obtaining from a liquid standpoint for all these reasons. And also, in addition to all of these, taking an excessive amount of these soda and sugary things increase fatty deposits on your liver, which increases the risk of you having fatty liver. So these are all reasons why you may want to drink water instead. So drink more water. Water decreases the likelihood of you being hungry, increases your hydration level, decreases hunger, and also increases the equilibrium within your cells. And so we recommend that you drink a lot more water and a lot less soda and a lot less caffeine. So one other thing with soda is also noted to be acidic. So if you continue to consume large amounts of soda, it erodes into your dental enamel and increases the likelihood of you having cavities, especially in young children. So it's not good for your dental health. You want to decrease the amount of soda that you have and carry in your mouth to decrease the likelihood of you getting dental cavities from that increased consumption.
Our food corner with Barbara promises a delicious taste. Barbara, over to you.
Let's make this delicious pot of edikaikong soup. So in here I have some goat's meat, stockfish and snail which I've simmered for 20 minutes. I removed the snail so it doesn't overcook. Went in with some dry fish, crayfish and continued to cook until it was almost done. You can see the broth thick. Let's go in with some chopped pomo, reintroduce the snail, add your palm oil. You don't need a lot of palm oil for the soup. Cover and simmer for another 3 minutes. Go in with your water leaf. Please cut your water leaf a little bit tinier than I did. Go in with your periwinkle. I'm using the deshelled one. If you have the one still in the shell, perfect. Next, add your fish. Add a bit more pepper for heat. Add some ground crayfish. Stir and allow to simmer for 3 minutes. Be generous with the amount of crayfish you use for the soup. 3 minutes later, look at our soup, looking delicious. So the ratio I used was 2:1. Say 2 packs of ugu, 1 pack of water leaf. Add your ugu, give it a few minutes to simmer, and it is ready.
Thank you, Barbara. I assure you, you're going to lick your fingers. Now, to our diaspora of the moment.
Our diaspora of the moment is Simidele Adeife Omonla Adiagbo Oli. Adiagbo was born in Toronto, Ontario, Canada on the 29th of July, 1981. She is a Nigerian skeleton racer who competed at the 2018 Winter Olympics. She is Nigeria's and Africa's first female skeleton athlete. She was the first Black female Olympian in the sport. In 2022, she won the women's monobob event in the 2022 Euro Cup held in Germany. In so doing, she became the first athlete from Africa to win an international sled race. Before competing in skeleton, Adiagbo competed in triple jump, last competing in 2008. Adiagbo served as a Nike body double for Serena Williams. Adiagbo is a marketing manager for Nike in South Africa since 2012. On the 18th of August 2018, Adiagbo spoke alongside other noteworthy speakers to a sold-out audience during the TEDx Lagos Spotlight event at the Muzon Center. She shared the stage with legal practitioners Shuko Shashuri, award-winning technologist Ade Olufeko, art curator Tokoni Peterside, and media personality Banky W, amongst others. The 42-year-old skeleton racer broke the record over the weekend at the 2024 BMW IBSF World Championship in Winterberg, Germany, where she finished top 20 in her World Championships debut. By doing so, she also inked Nigeria's name in history books as the first African nation to be represented in bobsleigh at the World Championships. Congratulations, Simidele Adeife Omonla Adiagbo. We celebrate you as our diaspora of the moment.
This has been the Diaspora for this week. Keep a date with us next week for another interesting episode of your favorite show, The Diaspora. I remain Juliana Vincent Chekubu, your anchor. Stay positive.